This fanfiction is only for entertainment purposes, so please don't take it seriously and don't be offended. It's just a story made out of imagination, so it doesn't define any character in real life. I hope you'll enjoy the story and leave positive comments without hating the author and character. I don't own any pictures, but the storylines are completely mine. I will do voiceover so you can mute it if you want. Hope you will like the video. Laying on his couch, Taehyung was looking anything but fine. He just kept staring at ceiling blankly with a glass of whiskey in his hand. He called out a name, painfully soft. Taehyung, YN. Lee YN. He took out his phone and take a look at your photo, which was his wallpaper. He can't help but swallow the lump in his throat as he opened your profile on WeChat. It was clearly written there that how you were blocked by him. He kept looking at that unblock button but didn't touch it to do so. He go through your chats all over again only to realize that how foolish he was. Taehyung, were you ever really into me? Even if only a little? The world around him blur as he looked at those playfuls, flirting messages. Do you like water? Yes. Then you already like 70% of me. Do you play the violin? No. Then why are you pulling on my heartstrings? Oh God, did you feel that earthquake just now? It's not an earthquake. It's just my heart shaking when I think of you. I think you are just perfect with just one tiny flaw. He reads those messages one by one. Again and again and again. He still remember that how he used to blush on these cheeky lines of yours. Smile all day thinking you really meant it all. Taehyung, what a joke. I can't believe I actually bought it. He say to himself as he throw that glass of whiskey away while his eyes lowered in sadness. Taehyung, I just kept buying your act again and again. You really made a fool of me. He chuckled bitterly when his eyes fall on mails. He simply opened it and his heart skipped a beat as he saw a mail by you. Apology letter was the title, making his grip tightened on his phone as he opens it. I am sorry. I have no excuse for what I did and I won't ask you to forgive me. I hope you never have to meet someone like me again. I wish you all the best for your future. The letter was short, and yet it still didn't have the thing he was begging to yearn. Taehyung, if only I'd seen your intentions sooner then, I would be here like this. I won't fall this deep in your trap. Or maybe I did. He says as he looks at the locket wrapped around his neck. A gift from you. The thing which he still couldn't throw away. Taehyung, so this all ends here? He says only to imagine you unhovering him at the very next second. You were looking at him with a soft smile while calling out his name lovingly, blushing as his knuckles caressed your cheeks. You lowered your eyes as you spoke. YN, can you not leave? Don't go. He imagined you saying the only thing you never said to him, not even when he ends everything between you two. Yet you never once asked him to stop. He simply pulls your face closer, holding the back of your neck now while hold his back of the head and his lips moving on yours as he let out his frustration, his anger with a calmness that speak how much it hurts. YN, please don't leave me. He imagined you saying this in between and can't help but chuckled while blushing, but then your locket fall out of his hand and he comes out of his dream. His eyes looks hollow now, too hollow to feel anything. Taehyung, get real. She wouldn't cry over me. A tear slipped down his eyes. 3 months ago, no one would believe that this man lying miserably on the couch can ever cry or can ever look miserable, but he does now. The famous business tycoon, the only heir of Kim Enterprises, Kim Taehyung, was yearning for his forbidden love. 3 months ago, when he found out that your boyfriend cheated on you with your friend and left you, he was angry because how could a guy left someone he yearned so hard to get? That day he waited outside your office just to see you coming out, walking out with your lower head, eyes red like you cried for a long time. At that time for you, he was just your boss' best friend, but for him you were everything he could ever ask for. That day, he offered to give you a ride, and then when you both reached your home and you were just about to get off, he asked simply that would you like to go out with him. He was as shocked as you were because he never believed that he will ever be able to ask you out. Yet he was yearning for a yes, knowing it won't be the answer. But then his grip tightened on the car steering wheel as you simply let out a yes. He didn't even doubt it. He never doubted it for even a second. For the first time, you saw a different expression than coldness and sternness on his face. It was a smile of relief. His cheeks flushed as he looked at you, making your heart ache realizing what you are just going to do. But then it goes on until everything ends. A week ago, just as both of you planned, you came at the location. But even after hours passed, there was no sign of him. The man who always came ahead you so that you don't have to wait was nowhere to be seen. That's when your heart quickens, but you never wanted to accept it. You called him to ask that is he not coming. He was standing inside the building while looking at you through the glass wall all day. His view was very clear and beautiful, unlike yours. He looks at you like he's about to lose everything. He can't tell by looking at you that was this meaningless wait is your punishment. Or his. He replied simply, you mean to play pretend with you? He wanted you to give him a reason. He just need to hear your explanation, but what he heard was just a word, sorry, and then the silence spread. He cut the call realizing there's nothing left. He thought that if he ever found out that your reason for being with him were less than pure, he could just pretend he didn't know. He thought that as long as he could give you what you wanted, you'd stay by his side. It just never occurred to him that he'd be used to show another man that how much you loved him. Every sweet line you told him was to bait him, yet he couldn't help but stare at you. You did everything for him. But what about me was the thing he wanted to ask, but he didn't have courage to confront and hear the truth that he didn't matter. Not even a bit. But last night during family dinner, his cousin, your best friend Leah, who's unaware that you are dating Taehyung, revealed that how your boyfriend left you and now you are taking back on him and your friend by dating the man she longed for. She reveals that how your ex always get jealous of him as he was the perfect man any girl could think of, but now you were dating him just to show those both that how you can get everything you want. His spoon stopped mid-air as he realized it. He finally knew the truth and left, not even hearing the complete talk. Not even hearing the part that how you truly fall for him now and started to date him in real. Even though everything started as fake. It all turns out real now. If only instead of looking at you from that window glass, he come in front of you, then he will finally heard the words he was yearning to hear. You finally was going to confess, but your one mistake ruined everything. Taehyung was still laying on the couch, his eyes covered with his arm when a message popped up in his phone. It was a message from Leah. Appa, Wyan faint in TH office today. I bring her to the hospital, but she's denying for any checkup and I don't know how to handle it. She's unconscious again. It's the 5th time in this week. His hand trembled as he read it and without even wasting a second, he picked up his coat then car's key and ran towards the exit. He comes to the room you were. Leah was looking at you in worry when she saw Taehyung entering with panic expression, still panting because of the way he runs here. Leah can't help but felt guilty and blame everything on herself. She found out just after your breakup that Taehyung was your boyfriend, but then she realizes that it all happens because of the thing she say at family dinner. She knew he walk away without hearing the whole truth, and now the only thing remains between you two was misunderstanding. Taehyung, go arrange a VIP room for her. Don't worry, I am here. With her. He says without even looking at Leah, and she left knowing that you both need some time. You were laying unconscious on bed, looking pale as he walked towards you. His hand stroked your cheek as he let out a sigh. Taehyung in mind, I accept defeat. Taehyung, Wyan. Wyan. He called your names a few times and saw you opened your eyes slowly. Your eyes slowly widened as you saw him, realizing it wasn't your another illusion as he was holding your hand. You looked at him more intensely and he leaned down, getting on his knees thinking you want to say something but couldn't because of your weakness. But then he saw a tear slipped your eyes as you wrapped your hand around his neck and snuggled more into him. You still remember that how 4 days ago, at that party where you go just to explain everything to him, he ignored you. He walked past you like you weren't there. You knew he only ignored people who didn't matter, which means you didn't matter to him anymore. But you couldn't help but blame yourself as you knew this is all caused by your own mistakes. Taehyung, Wyan? He was shocked as you suddenly hugged him. Tears fall down your eyes as you saw in the weakest voice he ever heard from your mouth. Wyan, I'm sorry. Tae, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You kept mumbling the same thing like it will make any difference. Wyan, can you not leave, please? His hands wrapped around you as he smiled a little. Taehyung in mind, Whatever reasons she had for what she did, none of that matter anymore. As long as she needs me, isn't that enough? He snuggled his face into your hair, finally feeling a little better. Taehyung, yeah. That's when the door opened and Leah entered with doctors, only to find you both in each other's embrace, and a small smile tucked at her lips as she saw both of you in a better light today. The doctors start checking you, and that's when he saw that nurse was bringing another bag of fluids for you. The cannula was already removed, but you need another one, and he can see on your face that how much Stringe scared you as always. He covered your eyes with his hand while you hold his wrist tightly in fear. After an hour, everything ends, and you both were finally alone in the room. You look at him with a small smile. Wyan, Tae, thanks for looking for me and accompanying me. But to think that I'm stuck in the hospital like this. You complain normally as it become a habit to always tell him how you truly feel no matter what happened. Taehyung, yeah, otherwise you'd be in my bed right now. He says out of his habit to tease you at all tiny things. His expression was still stern as he looked at the fluid bag, almost done. He clears his throat as he realized what he just say. When, you're right. Am I wrong? He was caught off guard by your reply as you were blushing while saying this. Taehyung, no. He says simply, then laugh a little while holding his forehead to hide his face, his happiness. You two laugh with him covering your half face with the scarf at this silly confession of you two. When suddenly you felt that he slowly carefully pulled out the string while covering that place of your hand. You know he's an expert in this field too. You tried to stand up finally after hours, but only to feel dizzy as soon as you put your leg on floor. Just then you felt a hand wrapping around waist, and the next moment you were up in air in his arms. He picked you up while giving you his and your phone, then walked towards the exit while you noticed the screen damage on his phone. When, how did your phone got broke? And why are you still using it? Taehyung, it will be fine once I replace the screen. He says, and suddenly the phone rang, making you flinch a little as you looked at him who signaled you to pick up the phone. It was his assistant call. Taehyung, what happened? Max, remember Fiona from last time? You snuck a few extra glances at her. Turns out she's interested in you too. She asked me about you, and it sounds like she wants to get to know you better. She's off work tomorrow and wanted to check if you're free to meet up. Taehyung, I am hanging up. Max, what? Taehyung, Wyan, I am telling you to hang up. He says, finally looking at you whose face was already sullen, but you did as he say. Wyan, in mind, Fiona, a young, pretty girl who's single. She met Taehyung at a social event, hit it off, and now she wants to see if they can take it a step further. It's a perfectly normal start to a relationship story, with no deception. Unlike mine, where every memory we made was built on lies. You thought while you snuggled your face in the crook of his neck completely. He placed you in the front seat of his car, then slowly leaned forward to buckle your seatbelt. You were still looking down, far from happy like you were when you saw him an hour ago. Taehyung, that girl. Leona, or whatever she is. She was wearing the exact same dress, which I specially bought for you and thought it was you. I was just imagining you, and I don't look at her more than once, and that too because I thought it was you. He says simply, then was about to lean back, but you hold his hand, making him stop while you say, still looking down. When, actually, I didn't lie about everything. Everything between us was. It was never a lie. His eyes softened, but only a "oh" left his mouth, making you look at him immediately. When, what do you mean by "oh"? He leaned more towards you as his hand grabbed the seat for support. Taehyung, softly, it means it all depends on how you perform from now on. When, oh. You simply say with a blush on your cheek. You smile as you leaned in and peck on his cheek, caughting him completely off guard. When, You wasn't even able to complete your sentence when he lowers the backrest, hovering over you completely now inside the car. When, Taewei dash. You say as you covered your lips with the scarf while tightly shutting your eyes. His lips just touched your lips with a small smirk. Taehyung, your temperature is still high. Try to get some sleep till we reach our home. He says and pulled back, making you hide your face behind your palm in shyness, realizing he was just teasing you. The ride to the house was quiet as you noticed the path out of the window and realized he was taking you to his house instead of yours. He parked his car in his parking area and opened the gate for you to come out. You unbuckle your seatbelt then ask to him while looking down. Wyan, you haven't told me what I'm supposed to do yet. Taehyung in mind, is that what's been on her mind this whole time? He saw you sitting looking up at him super seriously and like you meant everything what you say. That you can do anything to earn him back. He was looking at your small hands as he rested his hand on the car gate while standing for support as he leaned forwards a little again, this time towering you. Taehyung, did you forget the very first thing you need to be doing? He says still looking at your tiny hands while a small blush crept on your cheek. Wyan in mind, he's looking at my hands. What does he expect me to do with them? Could it be that he's waiting for? You thought as you simply slip your hand around his waist. Wyan, is this what you wanted? Wyan in mind, this feels oddly nice. You thought while tightening your grip around his waist. He almost smiled seeing this then smirk as he played with your hair. You both were laying on bed beside each other. His arms covered his eyes as he tried hard to not look at you. You were staring hard at him on the other side. Every time you both slept together, he always pulled you in his embrace, but tonight nothing was like normal. Even while you were burning in fever, he didn't pull you in his embrace. And only he knew how difficult it was for him to not do it. It wasn't that he was super angry, but wasn't entirely forgive you yet. The only thing he wants what for you to do something to make him feel wanted, to make him feel that it wasn't one-sided always. He only wants you to yearn for him just like he do every time for you. Suddenly, you shifted closer to him making his breath shaky as the urge to hug you tightly was too powerful to ignore it. You slide your hand around his waist making his heartbeat quickens. Your hot breath was touching his neck making him shiver under it. Wyan, the condition about performing good. Was it only applicable for days? Or should I perform on nights too? You says, intentionally touching your lips with his neck, and the next moment you were pulled under him. He was hovering you with shaky breath as he looked at you intensely. Taehyung, you called for it. Whatever happened tonight doesn't mean that I forgive. Wyan, I know. Whatever happened tonight or every night after tonight, I take complete responsibility of it. You says as you cupped his cheek. Wyan, so this time you use me for you desires, longing, and everything you can name of it. I will try my best to win you back, and this time only with love. This time I will pursue you and will never give up. I won't miss this chance and I won't ever break your trust. This time it won't be a show. It will just be a story. Our story which you write, you decide, and I work to not let it have a sad ending. Taehyung softly, you know only a fool will believe twice on those words. And I believe I am always a fool for you. He says as he slipped his lips on your palm and kissed it without breaking the eye contact with you. He licked it intensely, all over it. Between your finger too making you arch your back for him. Taehyung, you are sick already, it will drain all of your energy away from you. He spoke still wanting to stop as he don't want to pressure you only for you to wrap your hand around his neck and pulled him closer. Your finger gently tracing his neck as you spoke looking at him. Wyan, I was sick because I didn't have you. I didn't have the only thing I need. So I beg you to make me forget everything but you tonight. I want to feel like yours again. You say, and he couldn't help but let out a warm shaky breath on your lips and he leaned in and the end.